Hey, podcast listeners, I'm Gabe.
And I'm Nick.
And we host the Facing Off podcast, and we are inviting you to give our podcast a listen.
On Facing Off, Gabe and I take two movies we find to be similar, and we compare, contrast, and rate them in our own unique way. We pair movies across all genres. As long as there's a common thread between the two movies, we'll face them off. We also give these movies awards at the end of the episode. Sometimes we even rank our favorite movies based on some specific criteria.
So, after finishing this podcast, please go and listen to Facing Off, which can be found on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, Stitcher, or wherever you listen to podcasts simply by searching for Facing Off. You can also follow us on Instagram and Twitter by looking up Facing Off Pod.
Podcast is all very scientific. We don't have time to get into it right now.
I guess you'll just have to listen to find out.
I guess so.
Hey everyone, I'm Adam.
And I'm Dennis, and we're the hosts of Movie Toast News and Reviews.
Do you ever wonder if it's worth your time watching a new movie or a classic?
Do you hate when people talk about movie news you've never even heard of?
Stop worrying, because we got you covered.
Every Sunday on Twitch, we talked about our favorite movie news from the previous week.
Every Thursday, we drop a review podcast covering classics to new releases.
And our YouTube page has tons of buttery crumbs that we can't fit anywhere else.
So come check us out at movie_toasts on Twitter, Instagram, and Reddit.
And at Movie Toast News and Reviews on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook.
With no further ado, enjoy the podcast that we just interrupted.
Today we're looking at Jingle All The Way, a 1996 family comedy directed by Brian Levant. Inspired by real-life Christmas toy sellouts for items such as Cabbage Patch Kids, the film was written by Randy Cornfield. The plot follows two rival fathers, both desperately trying to purchase a Turbo Man action figure for their respective sons on a last-minute shopping spree on Christmas Eve.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Christmas and Chill podcast. It is me, Turbo Man.
That is so much better than what I expected.
It actually is, though.
Thank you.
I was expecting some shit joke. No.
Thank you so much, Turbo Man. It's fantastic to have you here in the studio with us, Turbo Man. How are you this evening? I'm very good. How are you? I'm good, thank you. We just finished watching Jingle All The Way. Oh, really? Did you like it? Yes, I did. We did. We all liked it very, very much. What was your favorite bit? Turbo Man, why are you slowly turning into like an Italian gangster? I don't know. Just shut up and tell me your favorite bit.
Oh, I wish this was being recorded.
Ladies and gentlemen, how are we this evening? I'm joined with Maddie and Amy. How are we, guys?
Good. How are you?
Good, thank you. Amy, how are you?
I'm very good.
Nice, good to hear. From the, as you could tell from the guest appearance by Turbo Man earlier, today we watched Jingle All The Way. Unfortunately, the only Arnold Schwarzenegger film on our Christmas list. First impressions, thoughts. What do we think of the film, guys?
I'm pretty sure they play this film every year on Channel 7, but I think this is the first time I watched it in its entirety. And I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I actually really enjoyed this film. Like, I watched it by myself this morning, but Dad kept coming out to have a bit of a watch and then disappearing. So I think we both, even though Dad didn't see a lot of it, I think the reason why he kept coming out is because he actually really enjoys this movie. So
Amy, I have a question. Does your dad do that thing where he walks into the living room and stands there and folds his arm behind his back and like watches the TV for like 10 minutes, like mesmerized?
Yes, that's what... I mean, I don't know if he had his arms behind his back, but he was standing behind our couch.
I feel like that's such a dad thing to just stand there for like 10 minutes. Like, sit down, it's fine. You can watch the movie with me.
And then they'd make comments like, oh, yeah, I remember that bit.
Oh, yeah,
that's something. And then they walk out.
And then they'll come back 20 minutes later like, what party you up to?
Yeah.
Can't sit down, lawns to mow.
Thermostats to turn off.
Yeah, that's it. Too much going on. Can't see. No, I can't watch it. But you kids have fun.
Josh, what did you think of the film?
I've watched this movie in segments. I've never actually sat down and watched it from start to finish. I actually really liked it. It was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be rubbish, and it wasn't.
Yeah, I ended up getting it on Apple Movie because the version that you guys sent just wouldn't work for me. And I was like, I'll watch the trailer, and the trailer was shit. And I was like, okay, here we go. Like, this is going to be crap. Like, I'm not going to enjoy it. But then when I actually watched it, it's actually a really good movie.
It's corny and cheesy, but it needs to be. Does that make sense? Like, it just works with Arnie. It just works with the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not an Arnie movie if he's not just saying quotes and not dialogue. I didn't make it.
Yeah, it's quite interesting that you bring that up because a lot of, I guess, with all Arnold movies, they're not really well acted movies. They're just movies with Arnie in them.
All I can think about is Batman when he's the freeze guy and he's like, everybody chill.
It's good, right? But what I was going to say is it so many times during this movie it felt like the lines were deliberately written to make Arnie like quotable, if that makes sense. Like when they were in the, I was thinking like the scene, one of the scenes where they're fighting in the supermarket and he gets like the remote control toy and he's like, "This is war," and it was like, why do you need to say that? What do you guys think of Arnie's dialogue in this movie?
It was funny. Like I said, it's just quotes. It's not any like proper piece of the dialogue. He's like, "Jenny, I love Turbo Man." Pause. And then he'll be like, Turbo Man, I picked the wrong day for Turbo Man. You know what I mean? There's no like, there could be a heartfelt moment because he was like, "I am your father."
Yeah.
You're not wrong. It's very true. Amy, this movie did have singing in it. It had more singing in it than I thought there was going to be. With the Santa Claus, the underground Santa ring. What do you think of that scene with all the Santas kind of being a bit shady and the fact that they just started singing out of nowhere?
Yeah, I thought it was interesting, but I mean, why not?
It's Christmas,
you've got
man.
Arnie in there, so why not put something like that in there?
You're not wrong. I feel like that's a lot of this movie. I feel like a lot of it is just like, why not?
Yeah, you're just going along the ride, and then I mean, yes, there's a lot of different things going on, but then I think because of Arnie's in the movie and just the movie in general, it works. I feel like there's been other movies so far where that sort of stuff hasn't worked, but I feel like this movie it has. Yeah.
I have a question. How Christmassy did you find this movie? Because I found a lot of the things Arnie was doing was not Christmas related. He was just looking for a Christmas present, right? So, like, the next door neighbor and the wife, they were doing the tree, they were doing the cookies, they were going to the parade, whereas Arnie was just like, "I got to fight Turbo Man." I can't say a line without doing his accent. I'm really sorry.
Is that the point, maybe? To kind of like, because he is missing out on Christmas with his son and they try and drive that home. So maybe half the time he isn't doing Christmassy things because he isn't there for Jamie.
Yeah, are they trying to get across the trying to get across the message that men are useless and they leave it to the last minute?
Yes, absolutely.
As the only man on this podcast, I feel very attacked right now.
That was Josh today. He's like, "I've just started Christmas shopping." I'm like, He's like, "I've just done all my click and collect."
At least it's not Christmas Eve. You've done. Yeah, I think you've done a good job.
Thank you, Amy. I feel like 10 days is more than enough.
I'm pretty sure it was Christmas Eve last year, though.
Yeah, see, it's on 9 days improved.
Well done. I'm proud of you.
At least you're not as bad as my brother, who one year not only went shopping on Christmas Eve, but the best place he could find to go shopping was a post office.
Hey, I got a catalogue for the post office the other day. They've got some quite nice things there.
That's pretty great.
I got like this floating pen.
Whoa, that's sick.
Do you still have the pen? Yes. Oh my god!
Oh my god! Can you find? Yes, floating pen. It's real.
That was so much funnier
This is
than I
my
thought it was going
Christmas
to be.
present.
I didn't
From the
expect
post
it to be
office.
so quickly retrieved.
Oh, that was brilliant. Yeah, right. I didn't think that was going to be that funny, but it really was. Let's talk a little bit about Phil Hartman because he's brilliant. So the neighbour in this movie was played by Phil Hartman, who's probably best known from The Simpsons as Lionel Hutz and Troy McClure. What did you guys think of his character? I thought he was quite funny.
He was hilarious. I couldn't hear anything besides Lionel Hutz.
What did you think about the whole kind of sneaking in to steal his wife kind of storyline?
It was funny. It drove Arnie's character a bit wild, so I guess that
Yes.
pushed the movie along a little bit.
I just, that whole, you just reminded me of when he breaks, I guess, into the house, he's into his neighbour's house and tries to steal the Turbo Man doll, but then runs into the reindeer in the backyard and says, "Nice doggy." And that was it.
Oh, it's the room. Oh, hey, doggy.
Oh, hi, Mark. There was actually a couple of Simpsons cameos in this. So Yardley Smith as well, who is the voice of Lisa, was the woman at the start who had the Booster Bear doll that he got from the lady outside the store. There was actually quite a lot of like 90s celebrity cameos in this movie. There was like Jim Belushi, Sinbad. Yeah, what do you guys think of the
Who
casting?
is
Do you think
Sinbad?
like
I heard you go, Sinbad! Who is he? I know he was Myron, but I don't know
Sinbad
who he
is like
as an
a
actor.
90s comedian. I don't know if he was good or not,
Oh, okay.
but I know there's controversy around him.
Oh,
But I don't
okay.
know why. I know he did lots of movies in the 90s and did like lots of stand-up comedy, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not too sure what that deal is. But what do you guys think of the casting in this movie? Like, the only reason I bring it up is because I thought it was quite fun.
Whoever the kid is that played Jamie, I wanted to smack him across the face.
But why?
I don't know.
The kid.
He was just like, "You're not my dad, but I like Turbo Man." I'm like, "Oh, shut the fuck up." Like, really? Okay, I have a question. Sorry, no, you keep asking your question.
No,
I'll do
go
a
for
question on
it. Go
top.
for it, Mads.
Like, so Turbo Man is obviously widely esteemed in this world.
Yep.
He's the big character. He's the head honcho. Everyone loves him. Who is that equivalent in today's age? Like, what cartoon / film
Iron Man.
You reckon? But I don't think Iron Man's as big as that Turbo Man was.
Okay, that's fair.
I think, right, I mean, I know that this is not an actual, it's not a person, but I feel like I feel like you could almost say something like Fortnite or something like that at the moment is almost as big as what?
Yo-yos. Hula hoops and sticks.
Back in your day, mate.
Fishing down the old creek.
Jumping in front of cars.
I don't think, is that sort of stuff even really a thing these days? Like, we don't really see like
That's a
big,
good
like,
point.
oh, this action figure is the
Yeah,
best thing
that's
ever.
what I mean. Like, what is our equivalent to that?
Justin Bieber.
Oh my God, he's young. Is he young Anakin? He
Wait,
is.
really? Is that kid young Anakin Skywalker?
Yes, he is.
Oh, no.
That's
wonder
why
I
I
hate him.
want to slap him.
Don't say that.
He's done nothing else.
Oh, man. In a lot of the other movies that we've watched over the past couple of days, we always end up talking about like how much heart the movie has, like what that Christmas message is at the end. Does it make us feel good? Do we relate to it in any way? What do we think about this movie? Did it have a Christmas message? Did it have that feel-good moment?
I think the ending was supposed to be heartfelt, like Dad was there all along, like he's your true hero, sort of heartwarming ending, but I don't know how well it hit. I don't know if that's just me or like I didn't get as emotional as I felt in the other movies. But that's probably because it's been a funny movie and it's hard to take Arnold Schwarzenegger seriously.
Yeah, I feel like I do agree with you. Like, thinking about it now, I'm actually struggling to figure out what the overall message was, because like I felt like a lot of the movie he was trying to get the present for his son or whatever. And then even like, I don't know if you saw it, but after the credits there was a bit there where the wife was like, "Oh, you're a home and everything, so what did you get me?" It's like, as in, it's focusing a lot on the present, not the actual family. And
I mean, I relate to Arnold Schwarzenegger's character a lot because I feel I like to buy people gifts in order for them to love me. But Josh,
I mean, giving gifts to people is one of my favorite things. I don't know why.
Yeah, I'm the same. I literally have almost told you your present like 6 times, Amy. It's not even funny. Josh already knows his. Josh, you're good at summing up movies and their meaning. I would like to hear what you think the meaning of the movie is.
Oh, well, this one's interesting because I mean, it's a comedy and it's not a comedy with heart. It's just kind of a comedy. I think it's hard to say that the film has a whole lot of heart because of Arnold, right? So maybe if it was someone who is like an actor who is taking the role seriously, maybe then by the end we'd feel something. But I think because it's Arnie, it just like it doesn't make me go like, oh, it just makes me like feel happy. I don't know whether that's just because it's like a good work, Arnie, nice try, A+. Like, you know what I mean? Like he really gave it a crack. I think if there was a meaning, it would be that, I guess that, well, I mean, I guess you're kind of right. Thinking about it, it's all about presents.
Yeah.
That's why I was saying, like, is it a movie about Christmas? Kind of, yes, but it's not as Christmassy because he's just getting the present throughout the whole movie. You lose the meaning of Christmas.
Do you reckon there was an action figure around the time of this movie, like released at the same year?
1997. Give me a second.
Do you think Turbo Man was actually released?
No.
I think it's 6, Maddie.
Oh, is
1996. Yeah.
You're
I
correct.
would be really
Sorry.
interested to see if they actually made a Turbo Man doll.
Give me a second. I'll have a look on the internet. Talk about something else. Oh, no, wait, actually, I have another question. So the mum was played by Rita Wilson, and she's married to Tom Hanks. Does that make her susceptible to COVID? Oh, wait, she had it. Boo, boo, boo.
You can just have the segment. You've just done it too many times. You've done it too many times. You could just have the segment.
Yeah,
That's
but mine's
fine.
a good setup.
Also,
You didn't see
does
that
that mean
coming.
we've had our first couple then?
Oh.
Oh, that's a really good point. Have we had any
Other
couples appear over the kind of sequence?
Not that I know of.
Oh, that's a really good point.
Amy, you're a genius.
That might be... All right, we might do some research and we'll get back to you.
No, I think she's right.
There you go.
I believe she's right.
I mean, I'm not very good at actors and all that and their lives, but
I think that's a pretty good get. Speaking
You
of
know what
actors,
was the hottest thing in 1996, toy-wise?
Action Man.
Buzz Lightyear.
Turbo Man! You can't tell me Buzz Lightyear is not Turbo Man.
Maybe it is.
using it as a advertising
Yeah.
ploy.
The film is just propaganda. Speaking of actors in the film, who would we be if we were people in this film? Clearly, judging by just my physique alone, I would definitely be Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Physique?
It's all right.
Physique? You didn't have a beer gut?
Rugged good looks. Absolutely jacked.
Very
Austrian
humble.
accent.
Very,
it's
very
just,
humble.
It's just picture perfect.
It's true.
And he also, apparently, according to Maddie, leaves Christmas present buying till the last day. So
See, it's
that's
perfect.
true.
It's perfect.
I think I'd be that kid because I'm pretty annoying. I don't know.
Oh dear. But I don't think you have daddy issue. I don't think you miss Daryl. You and Daryl hang out.
Yeah, we're fine. Or maybe I'm the wife then. You never spend time with me.
No, you know what it is? I feel like Amy's the wife and Luke is the neighbor.
That should be so funny. These cookies are delicious.
Is that how you guys got together? Did Luke come over one Christmas and start stealing all your Christmas food?
Yes.
yeah, sure.
Speaking of Luke, let's listen to what Luke has to say about the movie now.
Hello, Christmas family. It's Luke. Today I watched Jingle All The Way. This was a movie that I'd never seen before. I'd only seen the section which was my favorite section of the movie, to be honest, which was the Santa fight. This movie was interesting, being a comedy like all of the other films, but also being more action orientated. Yeah, there were lots of good action pieces. There was just the movie was enjoyable to watch. I don't think I would classify this really as a Christmas movie per se. I would probably say it's a Christmas movie. It's like Die Hard, where it doesn't celebrate the idea of Christmas, but it's set during Christmas times. So, I don't know. So, out of all the things I'm giving it, I'm going to give it 7 Santa hats out of 10. Alright guys, I'll see you on tomorrow's podcast.
Thanks, Luke. That was good.
Question mark?
I'm sure you did or did not like the film.
I'm tipping he didn't.
Hey, hang on. Let's guess. Let's
Yeah,
guess
that's what
how many hats.
Oh,
You
like
reckon
a
you gave him?
3.
3? Nah.
He
I'm giving
doesn't
it
like American movies, and this will be too corny for him. If Deck the Halls CGI was bad, then this was worse.
I'm trusting the system. I'm giving him a 7.
See, I'm trying to, I reckon he may give it a 5.
Okay.
I reckon.
He's not
All right.
really scored.
I feel like
he hasn't
this
really
movie-
scored anything in the middle. It's always been the two extremes of either really good or really bad.
See, this movie, I feel, is a bit hard to judge.
Because it's
with,
shit?
Huh?
Because it's shit? In the best way possible.
I mean, because I can usually pick out movies that he's really going to hate. But it's hard for me to pick this one out.
Okay.
I'm not sure which way he's going to go.
All right. I guess you listeners will know if we're right or wrong at this point. So,
This part is kind of irrelevant, I guess.
guys, one last thing I did want to touch on, and it's really niche and minor, is Chris Parnell in this movie. The Saturday Night Live actor who has a very, very small role in the movie as the guy in this the shopping centre laughing at the dad for asking where the Turbo Men doll are. I thought that scene was hilarious.
There's a lot of adults fighting in this movie, and I think
Yes,
it
there
goes
is.
to show them being quite childlike. Does that make sense? The things that they'll do for their children for Christmas is ridiculous. Is that what it's supposed to be?
It also gave me like Black Friday vibes.
Yeah,
like what you
Oh
see.
man, I worked on Black Friday. It was exactly the same thing, I tell you what.
Really, here in Australia too.
Yeah, absolutely. We had Black Friday sales for like a whole week, and then Black Friday came and they were like, "Oh, there's a sale on today." I'm like, "Honey, it's been going for a week. You could have come in earlier. It's fine."
So another scene that you've kind of reminded me of is the scene with the bouncing ball, like the super bouncy ball that just for some reason
Kept
doesn't
bouncing.
stop bouncing.
Why did all those mums attack him like he was a pedo? He was trying to get a ball out of a little girl's mouth. Like,
you'd
it was
think
a
the mum-
choking fucking hazard, and he was trying to save her, and they were like, you monster, you pedo.
Well, given the fact that the ball went in a child's mouth and then Arnie was trying to get it back out of her mouth, so given the fact that it's now been covered in her germs and DNA, do you think that's the reason why the parents were hitting Arnie all the time?
Yes, I think so. I think that might be
Do you
the
think
reason.
that's why they were really upset?
Yeah.
Potentially of just getting too close into the child's face.
Yeah, exactly right.
Maddie, I'm going to throw to you.
I think you know what it's time for.
It's how many Christmas hats out of 10 time?
Actually, I was going to ask
Josh.
I was
With
actually
Josh
going
today.
to ask a
It's
question on
Josh's
Luke's
segment.
behalf.
Oh, he was.
He's not here. I thought I'd do his segment. I'll just steal that when he's not here. All right, thank you. I have a Christmas question for you all.
All right, go for it.
Okay, if you had to be a character in any of the movies that we watched, who would you want to be?
Any of the movies that we've watched so
Yeah.
far.
I'd probably want to be Buddy from Elf. I
You
reckon.
are Buddy from Elf.
That's why I want to be him.
But you already are.
I would like to be Tom Hanks's character in the Polar Express.
Very nice. I'd like to be Tiny Timmy.
Or another character is maybe Mr. Maddens.
Yeah, Mr.
Yeah.
Madden's. Yeah.
Mr.
Stressed,
Maddens is a good
but
shout.
nice.
Maybe Kevin from Home Alone. That would be quite good too.
Yeah. I do like being home alone.
Yeah.
Or just Danny DeVito.
Yeah, true. Not the character, just Danny DeVito.
No, just Danny DeVito. I'd like to see life from his height. I could just be Amy, I guess.
Oh,
You know,
roast.
we're not that much shorter than each other.
Yes, you're much shorter than me. All right, I'm 5'8". Let's go.
All right, Maddie, do your Christmas hat segment. I don't even care. Do your hats.
Okay, how many Christmas hats would you give this movie out of 10, Josh?
I would give this a 7. I almost changed my mind, but I didn't. I'm going to give it a 7. This was a fun movie. It was better than I thought it was going to be because I thought it was probably going to be like a 5. But it was actually really fun, and I don't know whether that's because Arnie was in it, because the plot didn't make sense and the story had no meaning, but I still really enjoyed it. So I'm going to give it a 7.
What about you, Amy? How many Christmas hats?
I think I may actually give it an 8.
Ooh.
Nice.
I think I'm the same as Josh, and although it may not have felt, there wasn't a lot of Christmassy moments, I still felt like it still made me feel a bit Christmassy. So, yeah, that's why I'm giving it an 8.
Nice.
Very nice. I'm also going to give it a 7. I agree with Josh. It stood the test of time, better than I thought it was, and it was nice to actually watch the whole movie the whole way through and not just segments. And I enjoyed watching it the whole way through more than I would have if I was watching it with ads. So yeah, I do like the movie, even though Arnold Schwarzenegger's in it. It's a whole thing. It's fine.
Wait, are you
Turbo
saying
Man.
that you don't like him?
I'm saying that he can't act. It ruins the movie a little.
Or
I do
makes it
agree,
better?
though.
Exactly right. I'm a sucker for bad movies, so it's great.
Yeah, maybe that's why it's good. Maybe it's like a really bad movie that it's good.
Yeah. It's
a lot
super
to-
corny. It's super crap. That's why it's amazing.
I'm glad we all enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It's good, and hopefully Luke either agrees or disagrees with us.
Josh, you were telling me before how proud you are of your Christmas joke, so I think you should go.
Maddie, I'm always proud of my Christmas joke.
You shouldn't be.
I've realised I've hit I've hit something on yesterday's podcast.
Wordplay.
No, well, not so. Well, kind of, but keeping it relevant to the movie that we've watched is really going to help me instead of just doing Christmas. So I've come up with a joke. Okay. What did Arnie say when he saw a customer drop their present at the store?
Don't know. What did he say?
Get it back to the shopper.
Wow. Wow.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Koshi, I'm coming for you, mate. Put your joke book aside. I have got you covered.
He hasn't even been on Sunrise this week. It's bullshit.
See, I'm putting in more of an effort than Koshi at this point. So, I've got him down.
Mate, have you seen Port Adelaide?
Yeah, I was just going to say, if you are you ready to take that on?
Also, did you guys see Eddie Maguire cry on the news because he's retiring?
That was wonderful. Best thing I've ever seen, him crying.
Did he actually cry?
Yeah, he was like, I'm stepping down from Collingwood. It's a sad day.
Do you think he'll
I
step
love
down
this
from
club.
the I Want to Be a Millionaire? What's it called? Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Do you think he'll retire from that or keep going?
He's got to have some kind of money, doesn't he?
Well, his kid was on Neighbours, so I just think from those royalties alone.
Hang on. I know we've completely derailed and we're no longer talking about Christmas.
Yeah,
but
his kid Xander was Charlie, which is Steph's son.
Really?
Also, have you guys actually seen what his wife looks like? Because she's like nowhere. You never hear about her.
No, I didn't. Yeah, that's a really good point.
She probably is very upset that she's Eddie Maguire's wife. Wants to stay out of that limelight.
She actually looks like a very nice lady, actually.
I'm sure we here at the Christmas and Chill podcast wish the Maguire family a very Merry Christmas.
I'm so sorry for our international listeners. This is very...
I was like, what the hell are
Very
they talking
niche
about?
all of a sudden. And to our international listeners, if you want to drop us a line, get in touch. You want to give us some niche references, be my guest. You can contact us, mailbag.christmasandchill@gmail.com. You can also check us out on Facebook and Instagram at Christmas and Chill Podcast. A whole bunch more content coming up. I'm going to put in a little plug for an upcoming podcast this weekend. This weekend will be the first time that all four of us will be in the same place at the same time recording a podcast. So
it's going to be hectic.
It's going to be a little bit loose. And we're watching a trilogy.
Yes.
It might as well be the
and
Lord
there
of the
may be
Rings
some
trilogy.
alcohol involved.
Maybe. I don't know how I'm going to make it through the first one without alcohol. So
you leave Tim Allen alone.
But that's a teaser for the weekend. What are we watching tomorrow, guys?
Tomorrow is Christmas with the Kranks. Hell,
Nice.
Amy, I'm sad you're missing my favourite movie.
I'll still watch it.
Good. You better send in a little thing and,
I'll,
say, Maddie,
I'll
I'm
do
really...
what Luke does.
Amy will be Luke tomorrow.
Amy, you have to give us a fun fact because you didn't give us one then. You just
Yeah, I know.
skipped straight ahead, Josh.
That's very true. My apologies, Amy.
I was just
fun
going to
fact.
go. Before we go, Amy's fun fact.
Sorry, I was really salty about all the segments because Maddie stole mine. So
I'm just a segment whore. What can I say?
Okay, so the fun fact, I mean, it's kind of linked with pretty much the whole theme of this movie. But apparently 1 in 3 men wait until Christmas Eve to do their shopping.
1 in 3?
I
That's
am
a
no
whole lot of
longer
men.
a statistic. I am no longer a statistic. I've beaten the curse. Man. But to be fair, there's something appealing about it, right? Because you really like you have the best intentions, but also who can be bothered shopping?
Is it that you thrive under pressure? You need that added pressure just to do well? Is that what it is?
No, it's just that, like, this is going to be really stereotypical and very, very sexist, but men do not want to walk around a shopping centre for 4 or 5 hours.
You think I want to fucking walk around a shopping centre for 4 or 5 hours? I'd rather not. I hate shopping. You sexist bitch.
Wow. And on that bombshell...
Boobs, you bitch.
And on that bombshell, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening to us. I just wanted to say one last thank you to our special guest this evening, Turbo Man. Turbo Man, thank you so much for coming on the podcast, mate. Really appreciate it. No problems. I really enjoyed it. Everybody give a 5-star rating on Apple Podcast. It's really good.
Can you please give us a 5-star rating as Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Who? You mean Turbo Man or do you mean me?
No, the audience. I'd like everyone to comment that they're Arnold Schwarzenegger. Or The Rock. Either way. They're both our mascots.
Yeah.
Rocky, I'm coming for you,
Rock.
mate. Come on, Rocky.
Josh, I forgot to ask what you thought of Big Show in this movie.
Oh, of course, yes. Final thoughts. There was another wrestler to come onto the big list of wrestlers that have appeared in movies. The big giant Santa Claus was a wrestler. Picked it straight away. It was Big Show, better known as the Giant then in the 90s from WCW. Paul White, good bloke. Wasn't as good as John Cena.
How could you say that?
And on that note, guys, thanks so much for listening. Have a great night. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.